Hello everybody and welcome to round 6 of the IVRC TCC Championship in 2020. We're here for the special round, the 100th IVRC race, and we're here in the Nordschleife to mark this anniversary kind of. We're here in the Nordschleife, and alongside me in the commentary box for this special race is German driver in 2018 in TCC, Martin Jacek. Hello Martin, how are you?
Hi guys. Hello Jose. Yeah, I'm fine. Pretty nice. Pretty hyped about the race. 100 100 race for the IVRC. So for the TCC. So yeah, it's pretty special one, and also on this iconic track, the Nordschleife, which is a pretty difficult track. So we will expect some action today, I guess.
Some real action, and also very special race and very special race, double points for everyone from the 1st to 15th. And, well, it could settle the championship on a way that changes it how it looks. We're going to go through the championship in a moment, but Martin, I think did you drive here in 2018?
Yeah, of course, I did drive both races. Actually, the first one wasn't that good, but the second one was pretty nice. I guess there were 3 or 2, I don't know. Actually, I guess there were 2 races. But in the second one, I started from the reverse grid pole. Yeah, it was pretty fun to drive in the first row, and also I led the race until the half of the track when I made a huge mistake. But yeah, it's always fun. You really need to concentrate, be focused on the things you do, because otherwise, yeah, it's getting pretty dangerous. And if you get out of concentration, you might lose the car somewhere, because yeah, we have some very different and difficult spots here on this track, on this very long track. So yeah, you need to do a clean lap and yeah, be fast as well.
You've got to be fast, and here we have one of the fastest guys, and right now championship leader Max Verker. As we will go through the championship standings right now, Max Verker, as I said, leads the championship after the excellent round he did in Belgium. 154 points to his name. 9 behind is Sven Gielhoed, who has been dominating the championship until last round, where he got possibly the worst results of his whole season, apart from Venezuela. Grimminger is in third with 75 points, so he's got less than half the points than Max Verker, the championship leader. Then it's Kirinos in fourth, Aguado, Jones, Voland, Carlos Frau, Ross and Rodriguez rounding off the top 10. And then we'll have Lauren Avicius, Richard Wonders, Drugela Avicius, Tickman, Davidas Laurinavicius, Pablo Lopez, then Emrus, Borre, Williamson, Teglas, Gonzalez, Atsida Kosauga, Bevan, Gazitis, and it goes on down to the 45th driver, Felix Kims. On the team's championship though, we have Repsol Swinigal Racing leading the way with 226 points, MPG Competition in second with 201, then we have FRA, TR Vluvos, Rotodos, SL Racing, Team Tempest, Team Bernie, F-Racer Kid, CS10, Shadow, Swinigal, Teves Shadow, sorry, Bravo Racing, Moronta Racing, and 2012 and Panorama rounding off the team's championship. Constructors wise, we have Opel leading with 201, then Cupra 173, Volkswagen, Audi and Peugeot. And the rookies cap, Fran Rodriguez is the championship leader with 113. Sorry, the championship cup leader with 113. Then Peter Jones and Aguado with 108 and 106. And then Wonders, Drugela Avicius, Emrus, Gonzalez, Ross, Lopez and Gazis top 10. It's a very packed top of the championship, Martin. But of course, after the top 2, there's a huge gap. Do you think they can kind of stretch it down throughout the season?
Yeah, of course, you need to be consistent in the entire season. I know it for myself, because I was leading in the 2018 DCC championship there. Yeah, I guess 4 rounds, the first few rounds. Then I started to get the field is getting very close then, and afterwards you need to be very good in every race, otherwise you are losing the points. So I think it's possible to close the gap to the front championship contenders. And of course, on this difficult track, you really need every point. And as you mentioned in the quite first minutes of the stream, double points. So it's more important to take every point with you.
We're now on board with Sven Gielhud as well. I don't really know the corner names. I'm pretty sure you know them better.
Yeah, not actually. Doing pretty. It's no, I don't know them actually. And so it's pretty hard to remember them actually. So I know some of them, but not all. Oh, there's a spin.
Who's what? Oh yeah, there's a spin from an MPG competition and a big crash between one of the Rototos cars and an MPG. It's Philip Voland, and I think there was Fran Rodriguez involved.
Yep. Let's just look at the replay.
Yeah, I have a lot of seconds of replay. I forgot to change that one.
Oh, of course, no problem. Yeah, that was a big crash. Actually, he didn't. Yeah, pretty familiar crash here. Just stood here on the inside of the track, and
so it was Fran who was hit from on the back by Davidas Laurinavicius, and then Philip couldn't avoid it.
Yeah. And for Philip Voland, it's a disaster now. So he needs to go to the pits now, actually.
And he's got no time to make a lap now.
Oh yeah, so otherwise.
Also, off goes Davidas Laurinavicius, and into the barrier has gone the Lithuanian driver. As through goes Sven Gielhud, I think that is. Yeah, it is Sven Gielhud. And Davidas Laurinavicius, number 10, has gone into the wall. He lost it after a corner. He went over the curve and into the grass, lost the backhand, and Constantiner into the arm code.
Thomas Williamson also lost his front already. I don't know why, but he crashed already. Now he's.
It's something common now. Thomas Williamson crashing, but.
And actually the first one on the track with a time, with a flying lap is Max Twerker. He's now on the Nordschleife at 3.50 time. Yeah, going to make his first lap time, I guess. So he will be the reference.
We've got
Twerker
on 6:30 already. Sverker was one of the last ones to go out. We also have Gabriel Salomon, who's just going out. But I don't think he will be allowed to finish the lap time anyways. It's still 1 hour 10 of race. It's a single race, 1 hour 10, and I think that's going to give a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, of course. As I mentioned before, you really need to be consistent in this track. I mean, one mistake and you could end up in tears, crashing, and maybe you're going to pit, and the race is over then. So it's difficult, but more than half of the good is experience. I know. I think more than half of the good drove the track before, maybe from last season or the season before. So it's pretty a highlight to come here to the Nordschleife to drive this very fabulous track. And it's like it's called in German the Grüne Hölle. So pretty fun and pretty exhausting, but if you win here, you are going to be a championship contender, of course.
And the first guy who will set a lap time will be Saulius Laurinavicius, not a championship contender, as seemed to be clearly Sverker and Sven Gielhud.
But Rodriguez spun. Actually?
Yeah, but he had a crash already.
He had a crash
already.
Yeah, he lost his back.
So he has no rear wing, and now he's focusing again with Saulius Laurinavicius. He's going to be the first one to set the lap times. He went the first out, and there's an overtake there between Lopez and probably that was an MPG Grimminger, Frau, or Warner. I don't exactly know who. I'm going to quickly check that one though. I can't. Right, great.
So Laurinavicius is now on the Döttinger Höhe, on the fastest part of the track, going full throttle here. That will be also a pretty nice overtaking opportunity in the race. Of course, you see the track is very bright, very bright here on the spot. So we can expect some very nice slipstream overtakes here with 3 guys side to side. So it will be very nice.
Will be nice. And now into the final few corners goes Salius.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
And over the curve, locks up a little bit and drifting out of the corner almost into the wall in that final few moments of the lap, and across the line for his only quali lap, and this is going to be the lap time he sets, 9:33.7, around 12 seconds off the quickest lap time we've seen throughout the practices. Pablo Lopez goes into second with a 1:35.0. Then it's Peter Jones with a 9:28.982, who goes up
4 seconds faster actually than the
then it's
rest.
Sven Gilhood.
Oh no, Gilhood.
With 9:21.910. The Dutch driver goes into pole position as Dovidas Laurinavicius goes into 5th with a 1:36.6.
And this will be now interesting for Mark Zwerka to see, actually, the reference to Sven Gilhood, because, Sven Gilhood is probably one of the fastest here now on track, and is, always having purple sector, so he will be the man to beat, actually. And, let's see if Zwerka can try to, beat his time or not. We will see that. Zwerka is also now in the last part of the circuit, I guess.
Yep. I'm checking who's close to finishing. I think Grimminger is close to finishing, as should be Magnus Borre behind the German driver for MPG. And right now the standings, of course, Gilhood leads with the 9:21 on provisional pole, then Jones, Frau, Laurinavicius, Lopez, Dovidas Laurinavicius, Saulus is in 4th and Dovidas in 6th. Then Kyrinos and Philip Foland with a terrible lap time because of the crash he had involving Fran Rodriguez.
Yeah, and now Zwerka's on the Göttinger Höhe now, so he's on the fastest part of the circuit now. Full flat out here with 232 kilometers per hour. Hopefully, he won't make a mistake in the last corner, and then we will see if it's enough for the pole position or not.
On board with Grimminger though, into the final corner he goes. He's going to go through the entry into the GP circuit, and across the line he's going to go alongside Magnus Borre. 5th goes Grimminger, Magnus Borre goes 4th. So Grimminger falls down to 6th place, and almost hitting him in the back is Borre. As we're going to quickly go with where's
Zwerka second? Yeah, 2 seconds behind.
9:23.
Yeah, I actually thought he can go faster, but maybe he's going to do another lap.
No, they can't do another lap. They
can do another lap. Okay, so
one quali lap.
Okay, so I guess Gilhood is now on provisional pole. Maybe we will see if someone is fast. I guess not.
I think everyone must be finishing. Teglas is going to finish the lap. He's had some kind of incident because he's missing the front of the car. He's missing the rear. Well, the rear wing is kind of broken. We have also Ernest Emrus for the Team Bernie car.
Oh, there's someone in the wall actually. Gabriel Salomon
is on the
has
wall.
lost his front left tire actually. So he had a very big impact into this wall. I guess after this fast downhill part, when you need to brake very early actually. Maybe he lost the car on the grass or on the outside of the track. I don't know.
Checking the replay now of Salomon.
Yeah.
He was leading into the fast left-hander to the exit of the first sector, and he went into the wall on the outside and into the wall then over the gravel. So he had a very high-speed accident there.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised he hasn't gone into the garage just yet. And Sven Gilhood on provisional pole then. Well, not provisional. I think most of people have finished already. Ernest Emrus is only all remaining to finish. The Polish driver is going to go over the line. He's not going to grab pole, but he's going to go 5th quickest with a 9:36.5, 10.5 seconds behind pole sitter Sven Gilhood. Of course, it's a 25-kilometer circuit. 10 seconds seems like a lot, but in this track, it's kind of less humiliating. should we say?
Yeah.
Call it. And
Actually,
it might be the grid. Sorry, Martin. Continue.
2 seconds can be a lot. On this track, as you said, it's not very much. One mistake maybe, and you lost your entire gap. So we will see. Maybe if Stwerka is driving more consistent in the race than Geelhood, he could actually win the race. We will see. But it will be probably a nice fight in the front between Geelhood and Stwerka. I predict it.
Well, it's 16 drivers who have set a lap time, and the rest of them will not be setting one. Salomon is still on the gravel trap, but we're going to go through the grid once again. Sven Geelhood and pole for FRA. I think it's the 3rd pole he grabs this season. No, it's the 2nd pole he grabs this season, sorry. 2nd pole for Sven Geelhood in 2020. Then we have Mark Sverker in the Repsol Twinning car, 2.7 seconds behind. Then it's Jones, Frau, Emmerus, Borre, Laurinavicius, Griminger, Lopez. It's Saulus Laurinavicius, sorry, in 7th. Davidas is in 10th. Then Kirinos, Voland, Verto, Teglas, Williamson and Rodriguez. Behind them are Clean, who didn't set a lap time, Richard Warners, Christian Alvarez, Gabriel Salomon, Figman Postumus, Callum Gunn, and Douglas Estebes. So it's around 22 drivers, I think. 23 drivers we will have today. It's less in comparison to the 30-something we've had in previous races, but of course the Nordschleife is different. It's a different round, and not everyone might want to participate. Anyways, though, it's time for the race in a few moments, I guess. Everyone's getting back to the pits except Salomon. They've reset already, so they're going to go to the warm-up session probably. Although I don't think they will do a whole lap of the circuit on the warm-up. Someone might try. Someone should try. Someone who hasn't done any kind of practice, or who has crashed in quali, just to regain some kind of confidence.
Yeah, of course. We need also to mention that some of these guys will gain some weight penalties, of course. So it might also be more difficult for them. Actually, I did not know who is getting penalized with weight now, but we will see that.
I think it is the top 3 in the championship. It should be Sverka, Geelhood, and Griminger.
Yeah, so it will be probably more, harder to drive with the weight, of course, because it feels like you're getting full fueled, and then also the rate, of course. So probably you need to brake earlier as normal, because the rate is putting you into the front. So we'll see. It's actually to drive more difficult with rate if you drive without. So
out they go for the warm-up, and it's Pablo Lopez leading the way. And this is going to be a special session, a special race, of course, as we mentioned before, the 100th TCC race. And also we are going to have pit stops, something that, unless you crash, we don't usually have in TCC. A mandatory pit stop before the final lap, I think. And how do you think these guys are going to go? Are they going to just to fill the car with fuel and just beat for something like 1 liter of fuel, or change tires or something like that, or they can't go that far?
I think they will maybe change tires. I don't know. I guess the tires will be blown away by the track very, very soon. So maybe, I guess the tire wear will be pretty extreme on the circuit. And with fuel, actually it's more nice to drive with lower fuel, of course, for the guys with the rate penalties. But the teams will now discuss their tactics, how they will do it in this track. And probably we will see maybe some different tactics here in this race. So we will be surprised, of course.
It will surprise us, surely.
Yeah.
And we're now watching Callum Gunn in this black and white striped car. The Callum Gunn, who made his debut in Spa-Francorchamps last time out. He ended up 23rd on the first race and 16th on the second race, so he narrowly missed out on the points. I think we have behind him or ahead of him already now. Gabriel Salomon for Moronta Racing. In his third TCC event, he finished 15th in the first race of Spa. He had a terrible crash in the second one, and that's how his second race ended. And he's come well on last minute entry for the race, because he joined me on the qualifying and went out when 6 minutes were remaining. And into the wall goes Callum Gunn, by the way. Very interesting that these guys are still risking it. Still, it's warm-up, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be people who just don't risk to crash. They just want to go slowly and learn the circuit quickly.
Yeah, actually for the rookies here who are driving probably the first time ever this track in a sim racing league, it's pretty difficult. So you really need to have the experience here, of course. So I actually drove the track like I think 2016, starting in a WTCC series in a other sim racing league, and then constantly driving the track more often. So yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, you really need to have the experience here.
You need a lot of experience and practice to learn the circuit and to be able to control each and every corner. There's a lot of corners in this track. I don't know how many though.
Yeah, I actually don't know it also, but there are not quite a lot of spots where you can overtake. I mean, it's not pretty. It's not a pretty bright track. I would say it's a pretty small track, of course, on the Nordschleife. Maybe you have some overtaking opportunities at the Grand Prix circuit and at the last straight, the Döttinger Höhe, where you can go free ride probably. But otherwise it's pretty hard to overtake. So you really need to expect a mistake from an opponent. Otherwise, it will be pretty hard. Dive bombing is also very hard here. So you probably need to be consistent, very consistent, and hoping for a mistake of the others.
Hoping for a mistake, of course.
Yeah.
Your mistakes are much more common than in any other circuit. You have the walls very close, no space, no asphalt runoffs except for the GP circuit.
Yeah.
It's a proper old circuit.
Yeah. So it's really pretty hard without no run out areas. So drivers need to be more concentrated as usual. So we will see some excitement, of course for us as the commentators and for the spectators in the stream as well.
Oh, Callum Gunn again into the wall, and he's risking it a lot, but he's not going to go very far into the race if he keeps doing like those mistakes when the race gets on. And he might collect someone still as well, because of course you have people in front on lap 1 and nobody wants him to collect anyone. We want people to finish. Fran Rodriguez, the most recent podium finisher who hadn't finished on the podium yet. So the most recent podium newcomer. Oh no, sorry. I'm wrong with that. Okay, no. It's the second newest. The newest is Thomas Williamson. Williamson, who somehow, and I was actually surprised, somehow claimed third place on the second race with reverse grid in Spa. Somehow he did survive to the faster cars around, and he claimed third. Very good race from him. But let's see how he keeps the form here today, the Dutchman. But still, he got third place. He sits down in 19th in the championship. So one podium, and you're in 19th. And there's people with that podiums, like let me check who, like Jugalavicius and Embedus, and also Lopez, and that's pretty much it. Who have no podiums this season and are ahead of him. So that means consistency is key. and in this championship even more. So 3 minutes and 12 seconds until the warm-up session has ended.
Yeah, so the excitement level is getting higher and higher now. Drivers are preparing, making some proper race starts, preparing. You actually need to have a good race start as well. So yeah, it's pretty important to practice the race start as well. So maybe you can gain 2 or 3 positions.
There's people practicing the bunny hop and the chicane.
Yeah.
Which is rather embarrassing.
Yeah. And of course, you might gain some positions in the first corner. We can expect some carnage because it's getting pretty tight there as well. But hopefully the first corner will be going good without any crashes. Yeah.
Yeah, the first and second corners are pretty much across.
Yeah, of course. And the second one is the wall is pretty close there, so you really need to have some space. Otherwise, we might lose some positions. And we are just hoping for a clean race start and for some good and fair fights on the track as well.
Watching Warners, who had just made a practice start. As he goes into the final part of the GP circuit, he lines up on the right part of the circuit. He's going to make another start practice. Christian Alvarez, who I think hadn't attended a single race this season, is coming in for this race in the Repsol Swinigal car. He's not even in the Repsol Swinigal team anymore, on the sign at least. But he's in here at least, and he will be looking to get the best result possible. I think the race is going to start because I've lost everyone. But I can see anyone on the track. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I also lost some guys. I don't see anyone now.
It is going to be time.
Oh yeah, it's the time for the race. So yeah,
we're going to get ready, and we'll go through the grid very quickly in a moment. Again, Sven Gilhood in pole. Oh, sorry. Oh, they've gone back to practice.
Of course, I guess there was some problem with the starting grid already. But we also need to mention that some of these guys are getting some grid penalties. Stverka is having one, of course. Because of the track limits, of course. But he will anyway start in the top 10. Because the other guys also have a grid penalty as well, I guess. So we will see for the final grid. Of course, the guys are getting the grid sorted right now, hopefully, and then we are ready to go. But David, I guess, will stay on pole, and we'll start from the first row, and behind, we will see who is starting behind him. Of course, it's not Stverka, I think, but will be also very exciting to watch Stverka. How many positions can he gain in the Grand Prix circuit to be in a good position to fight for on the Nordschleife?
What's Grimminger doing?
That's a good question. I guess he's trying to make a start again. Yeah, he's practicing the start procedure. So let's just watch how he's trying to practice the start. Pretty interesting as well.
Going to his grid slot.
Yeah, he's trying to make a race start. A lot of rear spin actually. So that was not the ideal start. So as you can see, he's trying it. Yeah, he's trying it. He's giving it another try. So maybe without.
Also Clean and Rodriguez doing some practice starts maybe.
Yeah.
Solomon going out as well. Rodriguez.
So now it was a good start of Grimminger without any real spin. So pretty important.
Will be a Clean and Williamson side by side. something we're used to seeing, but at the back of the pack usually. And onto the grass goes Williamson. What are these guys doing? Yeah, these guys are going to the bunny hop again.
Yeah, they're actually having some fun in the warm-up session now. Yeah.
I did say this on the previous rounds because they were using Rouge as a bunny hop as well.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, this is not a serious session at all, but still, I think
yeah, of course.
People want to practice seriously on the warm-up session, and these guys are just could probably ruin their sessions because they did ruin a few drivers' practice laps in the warm-up, crashing into them after doing the bunny hop. So I don't think these guys should be penalized.
Yeah, of course.
See, they're lucky there's nobody ahead right now. Douglas Estebes, who is not even in my... this Douglas Estebes guy, who's this? HPR Motorsport. He might have signed up just now because I hadn't seen him at all. So it's a new driver, Brazilian, number 122, for his own HPR Motorsports team. Let's see how this guy fares. Brazilian drivers have had some kind of success throughout IVRC. Remember, Pedro Lopes is leading in the Open Wheel Championship, which will have another special round tomorrow, round number 6 or 5, I think. I don't really know. I think it's 5.
Yeah, the Indianapolis.
I will be racing
Yeah,
there.
of course. Yeah, I'm going to race there actually tomorrow. Yeah. So yeah, I practice a lot the last days. Of course, the last night as well. So and yeah, pretty hyped about this event. Always special to drive the Indy, and yeah.
I gotta get some practice today. I only have today to practice.
Yeah. So afterwards, after the TCC, some guys will also practice on the OVC. So yeah, full program this weekend. With 2 special races. Special weekend, of course, for the IVRC.
Very special. We also have to remind, 2 weeks ago, we had the IVRC 6 hours of the Nordschleife event.
Yeah.
And we're going to have around August, I haven't been confirmed the dates yet, or they haven't been confirmed, the 6 hours of Spa, Francorchamps.
Yeah.
Another endurance event. So we're looking forward to that as well.
So we are in the race session now, and quickly go through the grid. So it's Gil who is starting from the pole position, then Laurie Navicius on the second, Grimino actually on the 3rd position. So he's having a very good position. That's maybe the reason why he tried to practice some starts. Maybe he's with a good start he can overtake both maybe. So yeah, Lopez on the 3rd, the other Laurie Navicius on the 5th, then Chidinos followed on the 7th position, Stwerka on 8th, Jones on 10th position, and Frau on the 9th, Jones on 10th, Frau, so that's the top 10.
And after the top 10 we have Emerus, Boré, Verto, Teglas. We have no time for that though.
Yeah,
the start is going to go.
Start.
Great, go green. The race is on. It's a very slow start from,
having problems.
I think, one of the Saulis Laurinavicius forgot to start, and it's Grimminger in second now. It's Van Giel who will lead down into turn number 1 with Grimminger, in second. Zwerka has got a major start. He's up into third. They lock up. They go very wide. Zwerka is going to get advantage of that. But down the inside tries to go one of the Laurinavicius cars. And in second is Grimminger right now. Gilhood leading still. And Dovidas Laurinavicius and Mark Zwerka side by side, as are Voland and Pablo Lopez, and behind them Jesus Quirinos. Around the outside in turn number 3 is going Mark Zwerka, now the inside into turn number 4. The German driver will keep the position, number 1.
And then he's now on 3rd. Zwerka is having a awesome start actually, starting from 8th I guess, and gained already 5th positions in the first few corners, so he is having an awesome start already. And also Grimmius in the back of Gilhood, so he's maybe trying to make a move on the Grand Prix circuit, so he can go as the first on the Nordschleife. That will be very important as well, because as we mentioned before, it's very difficult to overtake in the Nordschleife. So maybe Grimner is trying to make a move. We will see that.
He tried to make a move. He's going to get a slipstream, of course, and getting closer might be Sverker around the Nordschleife. It's not impossible to overtake, but it's very difficult indeed into the Old Forest section. But Gilhood will lead into it. And round the inside, he's starting to go. Grimminger probably into the chicane. He has a look. He hits Gilhood behind. And off goes Grimminger. He's down to 23rd, according to the computer. He's now down to 2nd again. And Sverker going to get the inside into the Old Forest section. But he goes wide, and Grimminger will regain the position. Side by side, they might go fighting into the Old Forest section. And now around the outside into the second corner of it.
Actually, Grimminger will be now pretty frustrated in a team radio as well. I guess he's...
Oh, and I think he's hit Sverker.
Yeah, Sverker's now overtook now.
Oh, and he's hit! Grimminger has taken out Sverker! Grimminger has taken out Sverker, and this is going to play into Sven's hands for the championship. Oh, and also, Jonathan Berto hits Sverker. Very dangerous rejoin from the German driver. And I don't know how well that car is going to be. As through goes, who is that? That was Rodriguez. And we're going to go through the standings right now. Sven Gilhood.
Oh, crash. Another crash. I guess Sverker's having a puncture, so I guess that's over for it. If he's trying to, to take the car to the pits, but he's having a puncture, so he needs to stop. I guess, that was the race for Sverker, I guess. But what a disaster for Grimminger. Having the problems in the last chicane, I guess. I don't know if Gilhood brake tested him, but he tried to avoid Gilhood because he braked very early on the chicane, and then the problem with Sverker. So, I think it's not the ideal start for Grimminger, who is now on 10th position. On 12th position. Oh, he's having also a puncture, so he needs to pit as well. So, what a disaster for him.
Right now, the standings. Gilhood leads with Dovidas Laurinavicius with an amazing start in 2nd, and Philip Volan in 3rd. Pablo Lopez in 4th. Richard Wanders is up into 5th, and Borre Frau. Gabriel Salomon from 23rd on the grid is up into 8th. Then Peter Jones, Jesus Krinos, Jonatas Verton, and Teglas Gunn, Emrus Laurinavicius, Rodriguez Grimminger, Sverker, who's up into 18th, overtaking drivers who are who have their cars much better than him. And then it's Clean, Alvarez, Williamson, Stebes, and Postmus. So Sven Gilhood, he has been handed the championship lead, basically.
Yep. And Volland is already on the 3rd position, so the German one is having also a clean start as well. Starting from 7th already, starting from 7th in the grid, now in the 3rd podium position. Of course, he, making some profit of the crashes from Sverker and Grimminger. But he's showing his consistency right now here. And if he's making no mistakes, maybe he can also fight for the 2nd position, because it's only 5th, 10th to Laurinavicius. So if Volland is having a good run here, he can probably fight for the 2nd position. And now he's on the back of Laurinavicius, so really a pretty exciting fight.
Very exciting fight this is going to be, as he's right behind the Lithuanian.
Laurinavicius making a mistake.
Wide goes Dovidas, and almost into the wall, but he keeps 2nd place for now. And it's Volan right behind him, taking the slipstream. He might want to wait. Well, it's the high-speed section now, right? Yeah,
it's the high-speed section, but it's pretty impossible to overtake here. You see, it's very tight.
On board with the German.
Actually,
and I think the Lithuanian is going very close to the grass all the time.
Yeah, he should actually not try to overtake him, because it would be pretty dangerous. So he's making the right decision here to lift.
He might try to go close to make him move close to the carousel or after it, I think.
Yeah.
But right now, still the German driver half a second behind the Lithuanian. Over the grass goes again. Dovidas Laurinavicius is not as wide as he did before, and breaking the corner before the carousel. They get very close. And it seems like Volan has got pace over Dovidus.
Yeah, actually, yeah, Volland is way faster than Davidos Lodinavicius. But we also shouldn't forget the fight for the 5th position, where there are 5 guys fighting for the 5th position here between Randers, Karl Magnus Bode, Carlos Frau, Peter Jones, and Solomon. So these guys are pretty close, and Carlos Frau is trying to make a move on Karl Magnus Bode, actually. But yeah, couldn't make it stick here on this tight section.
It's the nightmare of the Nordschleife. You can't pass. Or you can, but you have to prepare it very well and be much faster. It's Voland
and
right
Chilinos is
behind.
having a problem. Chilinos is having a problem. I guess he crashed into the wall and lost 1 or 2 positions.
Around the outside goes Berto. Amazing move from the Brazilian. As Voland and Laurinowitsis were very quickly side by side, but it's Voland again behind the Lithuanian driver, one of the 2. I don't remember which one of them is uncle and which is nephew. But he's going to try and defend from the German right now, number 13 in the MPG car.
I guess Volland is waiting until the Döttinger Höhe to overtake him on the long straight with the slipstream, maybe. Probably the most possible opportunity to overtake. So he's trying to be as close as possible to Laudinavicius, take some slipstream, and on the Döttinger Höhe he's trying to overtake him. And we should also mention that the MPG pack is, despite Skringer having the crash, all of the MPG guys are in the top 10. So it's Volland in 3rd, Wanders in 5th, and Frau in 7th position. So pretty good team result for the German team.
Yeah, and then Grimminger is down in. I've lost him. I've lost Grimminger.
Yeah, he's on 22nd right now.
22nd. So something must have happened to the German. But right now we're going to go into the long back straight. So Gelit is also is on the Döttinger Höhe now. We are waiting for the 2 guys here who are on the Döttinger Höhe now on the long straight. And now let's see if Volland can make a move on Laudinavicius. He's gaining the slipstream. But it's pretty hard as you see. The cars are pretty equal. So I guess very close to bump drafting almost. And right behind the exhaust of the Audi ahead. But over the downhill they're going to go, and probably Voland is going to get some more KPH because of the downhill.
Yeah, so I guess it won't be enough for Volland to overtake him here. So you probably need to wait for another. Oh, he's trying to make a move. Maybe
he shows up on the left.
He shows up.
Locking up.
Laudinavicius.
They're trying to make a switchback move with Voland, and now not a switchback. And side by side they're going to go into turn number 1.
Exit. Yeah, he's having the better exit, so he's now side by side, and I guess he's gaining the 2nd position. It should be enough. Yeah.
So you're side by side.
is having a 2nd position.
David Laurinowitsis is going to have the inside. It's turn number 1. Who's going to brake later? Who's going to keep the line? And who's going to stay on the grease stuff?
He's trying to,
around the outside. Now he's got the inside for turn number 2, of course. Side by side,
still
very
side
close.
by side.
David Laurinowitsis is going to keep 2nd place for now, it seems. And Phil Voland might have to take this slipstream once again. He goes behind him again, and he won't be able to get through him just yet. But it seems like Voland, as you said before, he's got much more pace, but he's not being able to make it count.
Yeah, actually, it's one point is that the cars are pretty equal, so you can't gain any more speed because the cars are locked about 338 kilometers per hour, so you can't even go faster with slipstream. But to mention, these guys are having an awesome battle actually. We are pretty fair, no crashes, no touches, so these 2 guys are showing that you can still fight without not crashing into each other. So will be a pretty nice fight between them both, I guess.
So also quickly, Gabriel Solomon has DNF'd. He's out of the race.
Yeah, Solomon is retiring.
Sverker goes into the pits. So after the whole lap, both Sverker and Grimminger into the pits.
Yeah.
And it's Sigmund Postmus and Douglas Estebes, who still hasn't finished the lap. on the back, and Julius Esteves might have to pit unless he wants a disqualification because of the front splitter missing.
Yeah. And actually Sven Gill is having a solid gap right now. He's 10 seconds ahead of the fighting group, and we lost the cars. I guess we lost the cars here.
Something's happened.
Because
the server's down.
Oh, the server's down. Oh, the server crashed. So I guess we'll see a restart. Oh, damn. Yeah, unfortunate, but I guess the race will start in the order as the server closed. So I guess Gelhut will be in first, then Laudinavicius, then Volland, and I guess the first lap will count off the race, and they will just drive the race to the end, I guess. But we should wait for the race director or for the administrator what they will make right now. We need to wait for the decision.
So we might have to wait until the decision.
Yeah, we will need to wait for a decision, but
might even
as we mentioned,
the race, gotta say.
Yeah, I think the first lap will count. So I guess 8 laps. It's 8 laps on the Nordschleife. So now 7 laps. The first lap will count, and the grid will be sorted like they finished the first lap. So I guess that will be the decision, or maybe they say maybe half of the race only. So we will see that. But I think they will just continue the race.
We will see what they decide for now.
Yeah, so, but we had some to reflect the first lap, we had some very nice overtakes. Of course, Mark gained a lot of positions in the first few corners, was already in 3rd position, then had the unlucky crash with Grimminger, and also Grimminger having an awesome start, but I guess, Gelhut was pretty early on the break, so Grimminger had to avoid him in the chicane, and then lost all of the positions. Could go in front of Stwerka, but also lost the positions in the first few corners of the Nordschleife, and then the crash happened with Stwerka, pretty unlucky. But the fight between Laudinavicius and Volland was the highlight in the first lap as well, because they had a pretty nice fight without any being pretty fair and having no touches, no crash, nothing. So let's see how it will end in the second part of the race, if we will see a second part.
So I'm quickly checking. So I'm checking everything. I don't know whether they will restart from 0 or not. I don't know. But if they do, we're going to go very late. As always, kind of.
Yeah, probably we will have some delay on this race, but actually it's the 100 IVRC race, so probably they will do everything to finish the race in the right way. So probably we will see a restart, but I think we will also go the entire distance, maybe with the first lap count. So I think they will do everything to make this race happen.
Might do anything possible to make it happen.
Yeah.
servers back, and yeah. So meanwhile, the warm-up goes down. We're going to let you kind of hear everything on the kind of engine sounds and everything. I'm sure there's going to be someone out doing something or not. Are they going straight into a race? I don't know. Well, for now we're going to take like a 3-minute break or something, and we'll be back in a minute.
Sound muted. Sound microphone muted. Use. User joined your channel. Microphone activated.
So we're back. The warm-up is about to end. And everyone is the race should be starting any moment soon. And we've been given some information. Martin has got it for us.
Yeah, so the race is going now be 6 laps long, and the grid will be the same as after the qualifying. So that means Gerard is starting from pole, Davidos Lorinavicius on second, and Griminger on third. So yeah, actually...
It's Saulius Lorinavicius in second.
Yeah, so yeah, oh sorry.
So let's go through the grid quickly again. Sven Gilhood leads. Well, no, leads. He's on pole for F48, and he's Saulius Lorinavicius, Konstantin Griminger, and then Pablo Lopez, Davidas Lorinavicius, Jesus Kirinos, Philip Folland, Mark Sverker, Peter Jones, and Carlos Frau. Then it's Emmerus, Borre, Berto, Teglas, Williamson, Rodriguez, Warnders, Alvarez, Gunn, Postmus, Cleans, and Solomon. Someone's out. Someone's left. I don't exactly know who, but someone's left in the mid back. Borre's left. So Magnus Borre has left, or has been kicked, or someone has disconnected. Whatever has happened, and there should be no more delays, or that's how I think it should go now. Boris says he has disconnected. Waiting for everybody to be on the grid. We have Scrimminger still not on the grid, and the grid's finishing to fill up. 21 cars instead of 23. It's a very good amount still.
Yeah.
Still for the Nordschleife, not for TCC. TCC we're now used to seeing 30 plus cars. As the lights are now turning on.
Yeah.
And the race is on once again. Svengil, who gets another very good start. Some wheel spin at the back, but it's a very good start now. Saulius Lorinavicius now gets a better start, and he's aware when the lights go on. Svengil, who is now going to defend on the inside as Lopez tried to go on the inside. He was pushed almost into the grass, and Saulius Lorinavicius brakes very late. Almost takes out Sven Gilhood. He went onto the gravel. And now
there's a crash.
Oh, and there's a crash. Yeah, it's Carrenos against the Lopez, and I think he was hit behind from Verto probably. But it's Griminger chasing down Gilhood once again, and down the inside into turn 3. He's going to try and make a move. It's Gilhood from Griminger, from Lopez, from Sverker, and it's Carrenos in the top 5. Then Jones, I think, and it's one of the MPGs, probably Carlos Frau. Or no, it's Philip Volan, and it's Davidas Lorinavicius, then it's Frau ahead of Wonders, and ending up the top 11 is Ernest Emmerus. Then behind him is Thomas Williamson and then Rodriguez, but we're going back to the front as Gilhood is starting to pull away from Griminger. He might now be able to keep second place, the German, ahead of Lopez, ahead of Sverker, ahead of Carrenos. And not as good as a start from Sverker, but of course much less carnage.
Yeah, but Sverker already gained 4 positions, so it's probably a good start as well. Not as good as in the first try of the race, but maybe he's now in a better position not to get crashed like in the race before for the restart. So yeah.
Should be a much better race now for him, but Sven Gilhood onto the chicane where everything started to kick off.
Yeah, so now Griminger is going through the chicane without any problems. And yeah, Jones trying to attack Shidonos there in the back. Yes, and then Folland. Oh yeah. Shidonos trying to make the move on the inside. Jones, trying to make the move, showing himself, but not make the move stick, so still behind. Yeah, the field is very packed, very close now. So as you can see, the first 15 guys are pretty close. Yeah, and will be a lot of fighting, I guess.
Jones is still showing himself a 5th position, fighting with the Venezuela, and down the inside try to go, and he's hit Carrenos. They've made contact now side by side, and round the outside is going to try and go Jones. He's forcing him
Jones is making it stick. Jones making a move on the outside there. pretty
Yeah,
nice.
a little bit of a dirty move, I would think, because of hitting him on the corner before.
Yeah.
And now Quirinus has to
But
stay
now
behind.
let's see. We're going now into this fast downhill section, and that will be interesting. You can try a dive bomb there, but yeah, we will see. Maybe it's enough. So yeah, now going into this downhill section. Yeah,
Almost into the grass,
pretty
Quirinus.
fast. Yeah, but I guess there will be no move from Quirinus here on Jones.
Oh, very close to the inside was Quirinus.
Yeah, but Jones is making a
Jones
mistake.
has gone wide and into the
it's
gravel,
crashed.
and
Yeah.
he's gone into the arm code once again, and the British driver who was overtaking, forcing his way through, making
And
contact
now
with
Carlos
other
Frau is
cars.
also
He's now down to
yeah,
10.
Carlos Frau is passing as well. So yeah, Frau on the 9th position, Rounders on the 8th, Volland on 6th, and Grimminger on 2nd. So pretty awesome team result for MPG again.
And we're going to go through the whole order. Gilhood leads with Grimminger in 2nd, and Zwerka, Lopez, Quirinus, Volland, Davidas Laurinavicius and Richard Warner is in 8th, Frau and Jones ending up the top 10. Then Ernest Amadus, Fran Rodriguez, Gabriel Salomon from 21st to 13th, Williamson, who is also starting 15th. Then Saulis Laurinavicius recovering some places after a mistake in the first corner. Laszlo Teglas, Jonatas Verto, Christian Alvarez, Callum Gunn, Thigmund Postmus and Damien Clean is out.
Yeah, and we actually missed because Stwerka made his way through Pablo Lopez. He overtook him somewhere because he was on the Grand Prix circuit. He was 4th, and now Stwerka is 3rd. So he actually overtook Lopez somewhere on the Nordschleife. I didn't see where, but yeah, he found his way through, and now he's closing up to Grimminger. So Stwerka probably is the fastest one, and now Grimminger is making a mistake, crashing into the wall, and now Stwerka on the outside making a move on Grimminger, and now it's on a 2nd and will try to haunt.
Now Lopez holding up, Quirinus holding up. Also Volan and Quirinus side by side with the Spaniard. Has to stay behind though, making a switch back on a very fast section. They make contact, they went both into the wall, but these cars are like tanks.
And Davidas Laurinavicius with his Audis going into the wall, losing a lot of positions here now on 10th, crashing also into the wall, and is now on the 11th position, also lost another one. So yeah, he's also having problems as well. And we have the first retirement in the race. Damian Kleine retired from the race already. So yeah, only 20 cars in the race left.
The fight for 4th is still kicking off. Quirinus now ahead of Lopez, ahead of Voland. And who is going to stay ahead the longest? Right now Lopez trying to make a move. We're trying to have a look. But almost into the grass went Quirinus, who is kind of getting away from Lopez and keeping now Voland right behind. A little bit of a wide line they take on the corner right before the carousel. And now let's see whether Zwerka can catch up to Sven Gilhood or not. That's going to be the interesting question. And Zwerka has had his race fixed, pretty much. Also, we can see some more cars fighting there. I think it's Jones against Frau, probably. No, it's not against Frau, against Volan. Jones again making progress. And will he try and move into Volan here?
Yeah,
He's had
Jones,
a look.
he had a look there, actually. So Jones is trying to gain the positions he lost after the crash. So he's trying to get he pretty much woke up after the crash. So he's trying to gain his positions back.
Very close these guys are. Look at that. Quirinus leading a little choo-choo train. Ahead of Lopez, ahead of Volan, ahead of Jones, ahead of Warners, and Amadus and Frau are catching up. So the one of the most expensive trains in the world around the Nordschleife.
Yeah, you might be right there. So
it's also Salomon and Frau fighting with Emrys. Frau has gone past the Polish driver and around the outside, try to go Salomon, a little bit of contact, almost spinning out, and has to let probably Laurinevicius through, as this is a very dangerous part to be fighting already with the headlights on the Danish driver.
Yet now it will be pretty interesting here, because the guys are going into the Döttinger Höhe in some seconds now, so we will see some pretty nice slipstream battles here between Volland, Jones, maybe Wanders, Lopez and Chirinos. So maybe we will see an overtake in a long straight, probably. And now Volland is showing himself on the inside and is making the move on Lopez, because Lopez had a problem and now lost 2 positions.
Three positions lost for Lopez.
3 positions. Yeah, so
he's going to get the best slipstream of them all, though.
Yeah. So now they are going into the Döttinger Höhe, and let's see. Chirinos is leading the pack ahead of Jones. And ahead of Volland, ahead of Jones and Randers, so maybe we will see a move there. Yeah, Volland is now on the slipstream of Chirinos, and then Jones behind, so will we see a move of Volland or Jones? Where I guess Jones is not close enough, and Volland also, but Volland is trying to show himself on the inside.
Pretty sure Jones is going to try and move, or at least have a look.
But probably he will wait. He will wait after the exit of the turn if Chirinos is making a mistake. But as you see, he didn't lock up as Laurinevicius was off before the restart. So Volland needs to wait a bit longer. Maybe he's trying to make a dive bomb. And Jones is coming into the pits already. Jones is making a pretty early pit stop right now. So he's making the undercut, maybe to try to avoid the traffic here, and maybe to gain some clean air.
Salomon is out again.
Jones is making a pit stop. So
Albert is also out, so it's just 18 cars remaining. And Frau is round. Frau has gone into the wall, and we're going to quickly check what happened.
Yeah, and Volland also lost a lot of positions. Volland lost 2 positions, is now lost 1, is on 6, is now fighting with Lopez, and is now falling back in on the 7th position. So not the ideal start for the 2 MPG competition drivers. And now Randers is going very right in the hairpin, is going into the gravel trap and also lost 2 positions. So what a disaster for the MPG competition team.
It's a disaster, but they're keeping them in the points, though.
Yeah.
Philip Voller tried to have a look into Pablo Lopez. Not quite close enough. Chirinos in 4th, though. He's trying to seek for it. As is Gruminger, as is Sverker, as is Gilhood. Gilhood more likely, trying to seek for more of a lead, trying to extend his gap, leading by around 6 seconds to Mark Sverker. Behind is Gruminger, 3.1 seconds behind. No, sorry, 5 seconds behind as well, or 6. Then Chirinos, Lopez, Volland, Emrys, Wanders, and Laurinevicius. And Carlos Frau is in 10th. 17 cars running. Sorry, Stigman Postumus is also out. This is looking very likely to play into the leader's hands. Right now, most of the some of the fights have gone, and Chirinos is making some mistakes. So we might see again Chirinos versus Lopez versus Volland around the old section. The Venezuelan trying to keep his car on the grey stuff. He's finding it kind of difficult, though.
It's also getting already night here on the Nordschleife, so it will be pretty hard right now to see the braking points as well. This is new because as I drove 2018 here on the Nordschleife, there were 2 races, but we are both on the daylight. So it's pretty new situation for some drivers who didn't drove the 6 hours race. So yeah, might be difficult maybe, as well as the track temperature is going back now, so the tires are getting more colder probably. It's pretty hard to have the right the tire temperature here, so yeah, guys need to be very concentrated now into the night.
You have to be concentrated, of course. The one that knows this circuit on the night better than anyone else is Sverker, though, because he did the 6 hours on the 2 weeks ago, so, in this same car. But Sven Gilhood's pulling away from him. A second he's gotten him on the previous on the current lap we've gone through. And then Grimminger in third. Quirinos, Lopez and Volan fighting it out still. And let's see how much Volan can stand behind these guys. We're watching the onboard with lights, so of course we will see the cars in front, and they're getting closer. And the straights, they disband and they spread out on the corners, as usually happens. Quirinos defending really well, but it seems like Lopez and Volan have got much more pace than him, as Williamson is also out. So we have 16 cars running, so pretty much anyone that finishes now will get a point. We only have one person who will finish without points. So Quirinos is still defending up to third, so something's happened. We have missed it. Something's happened to Grimminger. Oh, we have missed it though. I didn't actually notice.
Up to 9th, so I checked the replay. Oh, he spun in the first part of the he crashed. He missed his braking point in the downhill section to the Lauda turn actually. Yeah. Crashed into the wall, in the first wall on the inside, and then into the other wall. So he lost a lot of positions. Also, he needed to rate the other guys to cross him, and then
and I think
he fall back to 9th.
Kind of puncture.
Yeah, he's having a problem with his car, I guess. There's a puncture right now, so yeah, I guess we have the same procedure as. Oh, now he is spinning. Oh. Yeah, he's holding a car, but I think he will lose a lot of positions because he's not even in the half of the circuit, the Nordschleife. So yeah, pretty frustrating for Grimminger as well. Again,
he's not having any luck
as I mentioned before. Yeah, as I mentioned before, it's pretty hard to drive this track in night because you don't see your braking points, and you really need to be concentrated. Otherwise, we saw it there on Grimminger. You might end up into the wall. So these guys really need to be consistent also at night. Otherwise, it will be pretty hard.
It will be hard, but in lap number 2 out of 6. Right now, Gilhood's leading and defending again, as we said before. Quirinos making a huge defense from Lopez and from Voland.
Yep. So these three guys are fighting for the last podium place at the moment. So we will see a pretty nice three-way fight here, and also in the back between Richard Rondos and Bruce also fighting for the 6th position as well. And then coming Laudinavicius and Carlos Flau. So some pretty nice fighting here on the track now.
Someone was round, I think, or at least that's what I think I saw.
And Grimminger's still having some problems here.
He's having a lot of problems.
I thought he's trying to attack Berto, but I think he overtook him here. Yeah, so Grimminger's still going very slow here. Tegla's now overtaking him.
Now back to the fight for third, as Lopez has now lost some ground to the Venezuelan Quirinos, and Volan is right on his gearbox.
Yeah, so Volan is maybe needs to make a move right now on Lopez, otherwise he will lose some time to Shinos as well, but because Shinos is having some clean air right now, no one is in front, so he's the man, yeah, who has the best position right now. Yeah, Lopez is still under pressure, but we see Volland is faster than Lopez, and as I mentioned, it's pretty not impossible, but pretty hard to overtake here on the Nordschleife. So yeah, especially at night. Volland needs to find his way through on Lopez very soon.
As soon as possible, and he will have the whole straight to think about when. As they will go around the final corner before the long straight run the outside. Seems to be trying. Volland, he's had a very good run. Outside of the corner, and now side by side with Lopez, they will go down the whole straight. Lopez has got slipstream from Quirinos though. So Lopez might be able to keep the position. He's doing so.
Yeah, no chance for Volland to gain the position here, but maybe he's making the move after the Döttinger Höhe, but we will see. But we see that Lopez also close up to Shinos and is gaining his slipstream as well. Is coming closer, so pretty nice fight here.
Very close.
But yeah, I think it's not enough for Volland. He needs to be very dangerous now. He's lifting, yeah. Pretty nice, wise decision to lift here. Otherwise, he might crash into Lopez. And Shinos is having a good exit. Lopez as well and Volland too. But I think Volland needs to wait again after the start-finish straight, maybe with a dive bomb on the inside. He's trying to make a move. He's having a slipstream of Lopez going on the inside and trying to make a move, maybe breaking later, but he's
Oh, wide goes Quirinos.
Quirinos goes wide, Quirinos has
back from
having
Lopez might help him. Trying to get P3, they make a little bit of contact on the back, and Lopez is going to stay behind, and Volland might try to make a move right now. Seems like Lopez is now still in fourth and looking up into turn number 4 went Quirinos, and Volland stays behind them, sadly for him. And it seems like Lopez, down the inside, try to go.
Oh, Volland goes right. Volland lost it, is now in the gravel trap, so Volland is, and Lopez as well out in the gravel trap.
To the gravel trap, and Quirinos might have that third place even more assured, but it's Richard Wonders now in fourth, and Lopez might want to try and have a look sooner rather than later to be able to go into the Nordschleife ahead of the Dutchman.
Yeah, so as mentioned before, it's pretty hard here in the night to find the right breaking point, so both missed there in the hairpin, and so one mistake and everything, it's pretty over. So these two guys, I guess, can't even fight more. And we have a first disqualification from Callum Gunn, who has been disqualified of the race. Maybe he forgot to turn on his fore lights or his lights. I don't know what happened there, but he gets disqualified. So the race is over.
The race is over for him, and it's now Richard Wonders against Pablo Lopez and Philip Volland catching up again, and Lopez might want to overtake Wonders as soon as possible. But, of course, Wonders might try to help his teammate Volland. His slipstream is now the Spaniard against the Dutchman. They will go into the long straight in a few moments time in one of the first chicanes here in the Nordschleife, and now up into the second they go in his slipstream. Volland is right behind Lopez once again, but Wonders is not having the best of lines, neither the best of exits. He's going to get slipstream Lopez. He's going to have a high top speed, it seems, but also Volland getting slipstream from Lopez. Will the Spaniard be able to make a move to get the Dutchman out of his way and to be able to take up into P number 4 and go closer to Quirinos? They were fighting with P3. Volland made contact with him, took him out of kind of in the hairpin, and now Volland is trying to go around the outside of the Spaniard, trying to make sure that he can't get past Warner's on the space that was empty on his right hand side, but he has to stay behind as well. That means that I try to go, it's not going to work out.
Oh, but what? Both is missing their braking points, and now
Volan's through.
Volan's
through, or at least they are side by side. Is Lopez going to keep position? Yes, he is. They will have these little S's, the little kinks, which make Lopez, which ensure Lopez he keeps the position as they were side by side. But it's still Warner's ahead of Lopez, ahead of Volant. It's Gilhood leading, Sverker second, Kirinos third, and this is being very exciting.
Yep, and yeah. So Volant is the one who can actually watch them fighting and wait for a mistake of them both, and we see that in the fast downhill section. Both missed their braking points, and Volant showed himself on the inside and tried to make a move on at least one of these two guys. But he just can sit back there and wait for a mistake of Lopez or of his teammate. He really just needs to close up to the field and don't lose too much time. But we see he's still in the pack and can actually fight for the 4th position. Everything's still possible in the race. So now, Volant's still on the back. One is in front. Let's check the first position. So Gilhood is having a 2 seconds gap to Stverka. So Stverka, seem to be pretty fast right now in the night, and could try to close the gap to Gilhood. Then Chirinos in 3rd, Lopez in 4th now, as we saw. Volant and Wonders lost 2 positions. So Richard Wonders lost already 2 positions, I guess.
Down the inside when Volant making contact with Lopez though.
I think no.
And now Warner is going to try and go around the outside in this fast section. Will the German block his teammates' way? Looks like Volant leaves another day to fight, but they are now 8 seconds and a half behind Kirinos. They were fighting with him. A mistake from Volant.
Oh, both making a mistake. Both going into the wall.
Well, it was more like Volant missed the breaking point and hit Lopez on the back. So it's kind of 50-50, I guess. But also about Sverker is now 1.5 seconds behind Gilhood. So the fight for the lead might be on, almost with the German driver. They're going to go almost very close to the first part of the section, which leads to the YouTube curve. Up the hill here.
Now coming into the carousel.
No, they're out of the carousel section.
But they are going into the carousel right in a few seconds.
Oh, you mean Lopez? I was looking at Sverker and Gilhood.
Wonders crashed into Volant, so the teammates touched here.
Teammates colliding today. Not only teammates, also countrymen. Remember Grimminger and Sverker.
It's not good as well as if you touch a teammate. It's not the best way. Maybe there will be some discussion afterwards, or Werner's maybe thinking about letting Volant through after the crash. So we will see.
But right now, Sverker is now less than 1 second behind Gilhood, so the fight for the lead might be on into the straight. I saw some smoke there. I don't know which of them threw it out. But it's Gilhood who might have to defend from now onwards. We can't see how close the German's getting. Of course, experience on the overnight has helped him a lot from the 6 hours.
And Wonders is making a mistake and Volant is through. Volant is through because Wonders was too late on the brakes again. And Volant slipped through. So he gained his 5th position back. Has a pretty decent gap to Lopez, but I think Volant also has the experience to close the gap here to Lopez, maybe, and could fight for the 4th position then.
Good fight for 4th, and we're getting very close to the high-speed straight Indeed, I think they are now into the straight, and Sverker is half a second behind Jens Liftrim from Gilhood. I think Gilhood is going to beat this lap probably, as might Sverker, who knows. But it's getting Liftrim and Sverker, getting closer. Almost less than 3 chances now to gap, and if Gilhood pits, Sverker will go into the lead. And if he's actually faster, he might even overtake him when the pit stop comes from for the German. Maybe they both pit, maybe they don't. But it's right now Sverker getting closer and closer and closer to the Dutchman Gilhood. We can see they're almost nose to tail. And into the final few corners they're going to go as we check some other fights. Well, Kirinos on no man's land. Oh no, Gilhood's off! Gilhood has crashed!
Gilhood
has crashed
yep,
under pressure. The Dutchman has crashed. He's out of the circuit, actually. He's out of bounds, and that might mean he's out of the race.
He's out of the race, yeah, so
Gilhood... the race for Max Verker, 9:28, he was forcing the error. And Sven Gilhood is out.
So Sverker is having, yeah, the optimal, situation right now with his contender out of the race, so... And having a 30 seconds gap to Chirinos, who is now coming into the pits. So yeah, what a race, what a dramatic race. Gale leading all the way through, having the good pace until to this moment, being the fastest one on track, of course. But as the night came in, he lost some pace, I guess, because as you mentioned before, Jose, Sverker is a very experienced driver, of course, here in the night, because he drove the exactly same car 6 hours 2 weeks ago. So yeah, he's in the best position now for the race win.
He's very well positioned for the race win, and now Lopez is up into second because of pit stops. Also, Ernest Amadus has gone out, and we'll quickly go through the order. Max Verker leading now with Pablo Lopez in second, and Voland, Warners, Jones, Kirinos, Frau. And I have got no order now because it's gone, but we're going to check. Laurinavicius, then Teglas, Rodriguez, Berto, Laurinavicius, Grimminger. And that's pretty much it. Grimminger is now in last, but catching up to Saulus Laurinavicius, it seems, after the early pit stop he had to do because of the crash. And now leading is Sverker, and Voland and Lopez is still fighting probably, and Warner's trying to get close as well. You can see the Spaniard going a little bit wide in the GP circuit, as well as Philip Voland, the German for the MPG outfit, trying to catch up to the Spaniard for the Rotodos outfit.
Yeah, and I see Rodriguez is also coming into the pits right now, on the 11th position, now making also his pit stop.
Making his pit stop.
And we have Yellow Flex.
So how many drivers have made a pit stop?
I guess the first one was...
And Grimminger's into the pits again.
Yeah, Jones was already... So Peter Jones on the 5th position was already in the pits. After the first lap, I guess. So Randers, Volland, who is fighting with Lopez right now, went into the pits. So I guess if Jones is driving on the pace as he's driving right now, he might overtake them because of the undercut, because these guys were fighting pretty much. So I guess Jones is now in a good position. He has made his pit stop as clean air and maybe can gain some positions because of the early pit stop.
They might be able to win, of course. He might be able to win them. Of course, pitting early and now being on the pace. Maybe a 1-2 for Repsol Swinigel. That'd be a sweet result out of the Nordschleife. And Pablo Lopez and Philip Voland getting very close now. The German right behind the Spaniard. Now the inside tries to go Voland. It might not work out. He stays behind Lopez, taking the slipstream once again, and it seems like it's starting to be daylight again.
Yeah, and I guess as we mentioned before, if these guys are still fighting, Jones has the best cards to overtake them, because he's only 10 seconds behind this pack here, and we all know that these 3 guys need to make a pit stop, and a pit stop costs like, I think, 20 or 30 seconds. So yeah, Jones will overtake them after their pit stop for sure. So the undercut worked pretty out. So he tried to avoid, Jones tried to avoid the traffic on the first laps, not to get into the fight, to have some clean air, and then to be consistent and not to crash. And I think that would work out for him.
So now Lopez in second, defending as the daylight starts to go. Over the curve it goes on the exit of the corner.
So yeah, Folland's still on the back of Lopez. Fighting for the second position here. And yeah, the gap from Zwerger is pretty...
Wonders has gone into the wall and
Wonders
right behind him. And
Jones is having him, so Jones gained the first position now. And yeah, he's having the best situation here because, again, clean air, no fight. Passing Warners without any problems, and these 2 guys in front, Folland and Lopez, are still fighting. So I guess Peter's gaining some few seconds here to these guys in front.
It's getting closer, of course. Less than 11 seconds is now the gap. So you go closer each and every corner. Of course, Jones with newer tyres with probably less fuel. That's basically why he's getting closer. Of course, he made a pit stop in the first or second lap, so they are very, very close. Well, they will be very, very close on the exit. Of course, these guys have to do not a slower but a quicker pit stop, I meant, and that's basically probably going to make the difference. Still, 10.5 seconds is the gap still. So we will see how this turns out to go. For now, it's still Lopez in second, ahead of Voland, and around 10 seconds. 0.2 is the gap between Lopez and Jones. Zwerger, though, he will be finishing lap 5 very soon. He still has to pit. He hasn't gone into the box.
But he has a pretty huge gap. 50 seconds right now, so yeah, he already gained some seconds here because the fighting group is getting slower and slower, and he's already extending his lead by 1 second per 5 or 6 corners. So he's the fastest man on the track. He has clean air. He has no one in front, no one in the back. He's alone, so going into the Döttinger Höhe right now. Turning off his headlights because it's already morning, and the only part where you can relax and forget everything here on the Döttinger Höhe. So pretty silent for him. Silent race, actually.
Volan tried
And
to
in the
get
back,
move, tried to go around the outside of that corner, but didn't kind of work out. They're going down to the
these
carousel.
Yeah, so these two guys are going also in a few seconds into the Göttinger Höhe. Maybe
7.5 seconds behind Volan by the way, so Peter Jones has got a lot.
Yeah, he's gaining already 3 seconds. So these two guys really need to find a compromise, maybe, or to play together. Because if Jones is coming nearer, these two guys will probably lose one position here, and we see Jones in the back already with it. Yeah, we see Jones
into the downhill left-hander, but it seems like Volan has got the upper hand. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Lopez is still ahead and gaining.
Lopez is still ahead. Yeah, Volan should try to go into the slipstream again and try to make another try, but I think it's not enough as well. So he already needs to raid again. Maybe Lopez is locking up here now. He's having a good, hitting the apex very well, having a good exit. So Volan needs to wait again.
And now
maybe.
Pits,
both are going into the pits. Both.
I haven't checked whether Sverker has pitted, but he's pitted.
Means Jones is getting through, and Jones made the undercut, and that means it's a 1-2 for Repsol's Renegade Racing right now.
We have to wait
Jones.
Again, because maybe these guys come out with much better pace though.
Yeah, of course, and I think it should be enough. And now Volan is trying to. Yeah, Volan didn't gain the position in the pits against Lopez, so Volan staying behind Lopez now in the 5th position.
Much closer to Quirinos they are, so they've gained a lot of time on Quirinos.
Yeah, so Quirinos, yeah, you might be right. And also the other two MPG cars, Frau and Rounders, were in the pits also. So 5, 6, and 7 for the MPG competition team. Very decent points. And Grimmy on the 12th position, so he had also a good recovery after his puncture and his crash. Maybe he can make the top 10, but as you see, the 11th position.
Who's having a load of damage.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of damage on the front part of the car. He's missing the front splitter. He's having some kind of puncture.
Yeah. And Lauri Navicius is too far away. He's 1.12. Yeah, 1 minute and 12 seconds away from Grimminger, so I guess there needs to be a bigger accident or bigger impact for Lauri Navicius if Grimminger wants to close up to him. But I think Lauri Navicius makes pit stop. Maybe he can get some time, and Teglas is in the pits. So Lauri Navicius is on the 10th position right now, having the 10th position. And Grimminger now on Ende Göttinger Höhe.
He might gain 11th place, Grimminger.
Yeah, I think it's not enough. The pit stop should be about 20-30 seconds, something like this. Wouldn't be enough.
Still leading. Max Verker now with 40 seconds of a lead. I don't think Jones is getting closer, but even if he is getting closer, which I think he might be, he's not close enough.
I think
he's very far off.
He isn't close enough, but you already forgot maybe. Stverker also needs to do his pit stop. He had pitted. Okay, I forgot it. Sorry, he had pitted. So if he had pitted, I think the gap should be enough. But let's wait. We're on the pre-last lap, so still 2 laps to go. Everything can happen in 2 laps. We all know it. A race is only over if the checkered flag is out. So everything can still happen. We saw it in Le Mans, in the real race with Toyota. We saw it in some 24-hour races on the Nordschleife. So you need to really bring the car home first. Otherwise, everything can happen here.
Nothing's done until checkered flag.
Yeah.
Scott, half the job done, or more than half the job done. Max Verker. and also Repsol's winning with a very beautiful 1-2 on home turf.
Yeah. So I guess actually I didn't really thought about it. It's pretty surprising that Jones is, made it with the undercut in the first lap and thought, I'm trying to make a pit stop, maybe don't get out of the traffic, get some clean air, get some consistency into my pace, and then be not involved in any fight. And he made the right decision. He made actually everything right, and had the best tactics. And I think it was these guys in front, Volland or Lopez, should have done the same. Maybe at least one of these two guys should pit it earlier and try to get the undercut done. But Lopez made it. Jones made it right, and now he's on his second one. So good job by the tactic team of Repsol's Miguel Racing.
Getting closer is Lopez to Carreños, and Volland keeping the 2-second gap behind Lopez, but he might get closer when Carreños
Carreños is pretty slow in the fast, in the last lap. So I guess he's trying to maintain his third position and not to make any mistakes there, and going not taking too many risks here on the Nordschleife. But as you can see, the guys behind them are pushing Acel, trying to close up to him and maybe to fight him for the last podium position there.
Lopez does want that podium. Of course, it will be the first podium of the season for him. It will be the second podium of the season for Carreños, if I'm not wrong. Mm-hmm. So they want those points as well, because it's double points. The podium is more valuable, and it's worth like 2 races, this one. Although it's much longer than that. But of course, they're getting over now into the fast section, and less than 1 second separates Carreños and Lopez, who might be getting some good slipstream. Still, he's almost a second off. He's getting some good slipstream to go closer to the Venezuelan. Also, less than a second between. No, not less than a second. It's almost 3 seconds now between Lopez and Volland. So Volland's losing some time.
Yeah, Volland is pretty. Also, Lopez is closing up to Carreños, but Volland is having some issues in the last few turns, maybe. But is he could? It's not over. Still not over yet for Volland, because if these guys in front are getting into a fight, Volland will close up here as well. And Lopez having a problem into the carousel, going very wide here, and now losing some time to Carreños as well, because he actually didn't make half of the carousel part. I think he was too fast in the carousel, so he lost the part there, and now losing some time to Carreños. But still, having the opportunity to gain the third position.
He's also lost some time to Volland behind, but he's regained the time on Carreños and regained some little time on Volland. They will now go down to the S's, the downhill, uphill section. Very fun, very twisty. And when they get to the straight, it might get much more interesting.
Yeah, of course. So Carreños really needs to look here after that he doesn't make any mistakes here, because this part is very tricky. As you mentioned, it's downhill, uphill, a lot of turns. So really, you need to really be concentrated here. And you see, Carreños is not very, it's very slow here in this part. So Lopez is again in his back, and maybe tries to make a move, and it's still waiting for a mistake.
He might be waiting for a move, and as we said on the straight, he might be able to have that kind of look. Of course, waiting for the straight, Volland will get closer though.
So Carreños is not taking too much risk, trying to avoid the grass here and the gravel trap. So if you are going into the gravel trap once, it's over. So he's trying to be without mistakes, but as guys behind him are pushing as well, and could be an interesting last lap and a last few turns. last few turns of the pre-last lap.
As we see now, is Verka getting to the final corner. The final lap is about to start for the German driver. Some 43 seconds ahead of teammate Peter Jones. He's another 14 or 13 seconds ahead of Kirinos, who's fighting with Lopez. Back to that fight though. Lopez getting the slipstream on the long straight. Less than 3/10 is now the gap. And Volan's not getting closer. Volan hasn't got his slipstream. And they're very close now on the straight. I think Lopez has hit the limiter. Indeed, 233. Lopez is on the limit already, so he will not be able to get any closer.
Yeah, it's pretty problematic with a limiter when you go to 233 and have some slipstream, but you can't even overtake him because it's locked. So, yeah, that's the problem of equal cars. So you can't go faster. So you really need to wait for a mistake. Oh, and
such mistake is that one. Yeah. Lopez was waiting for.
I jinxed it already. Waiting for I jinxed Kirinos for making a mistake here, but he was too late on the brakes. I guess we should check the replay. I think he was braking in the grass. Yeah, he braked into the grass with the two left tires, so he touched some parts of the grass, braked in the grass, and then he lost the car. And yeah, Lopez is going through it.
Lopez up
so now it's a fight. So now it's a fight between Lopez and Volland for the third position again. Both had the problem in the hairpin in the night that they lost some positions, and now both are again in the fight for the third position.
This is going to get very interesting indeed.
Yeah.
And it's now Lopez who is in the who's ahead and might be able to defend from Volan. Of course, this is a long straight is still remaining, and he's only half a second adrift behind Lopez. We'll have to be aware when to switch to Zverka if he does cross the line in first, of course. Well, this is a massive crash and he goes out of the race. Right now Lopez is still defending. He's made some gap to Volan. He's now 1 second distance between the Spaniard and the German drivers. It's getting bigger each time by a little, indeed.
Yeah, everything's still possible for Voland. We see how fast it can go. Kirinos was pretty maintaining his third position pretty well, trying to make no mistakes. And you see only one turn, you're making a mistake, and it can be over already. So yeah, it's still a long last lap for these two guys here. So Voland really needs to hope for a mistake, or at least try to make a move somewhere where he isn't on the limiter.
It's 1.1 seconds the gap now. Well, less than that now, because in these chicanes, Voland does get closer.
Yeah, Voland is of course closer, faster in the turns as Lopez. He's trying to get more, get every single bit out of the car, every single horsepower. So yeah, he's making a good job actually. Voland is pretty consistent with not a lot of mistakes, only one, I guess one or two. But he's showing that he has the pace to fight for a podium position here in this race.
He does, and he's fighting for it, of course. The Spaniard who has got a podium already, I think I win as well. Or maybe not, but maybe I'm mistaken, but you can correct me. I think in 2019 too he did get some good results. So he's just fighting for another podium. On board now with Voland we go. And he's now trying to get as close as possible on the Spaniard. Almost over the curve, almost riding the curve. Following him suit through the line, and wide, a little bit wide has gone Lopez over that one curve. Remember, of course, there was that incident between them, so there might be an investigation and even a penalty between these guys, of course, because of Voland going into Lopez in the hairpin overnight. And wide goes Lopez over the grass, as went Voland. Over the curve now goes Lopez. He's going to lose a load of time, and Voland might try to have a look, but Lopez covers it cleanly. And Lopez still stays ahead of the German driver.
Yeah, Lopez is pretty much on the limit now, so he's trying to make everything to maintain this third position here. But he's going right, and it's over. I guess Voland is going through now. Yep, Voland made it because one mistake here. I jinxed it again. I called it. So yeah.
Commentator's
I should. Yeah, it's a pretty commentator's curse here, so should stop doing it.
But now it's Voland ahead of Lopez. Still, as I said, there could be penalties incoming for anyone because of track limits, as I've seen a lot of people pretty much ignoring them. But we will see how this goes later, or whenever the results are published, after the race is finished, of course, but not straight after. It will be a little bit of a moment. But these guys are staying in front now, and less than a second behind from Voland is Lopez. And they might get closer and closer each time. Remember, we had 21 cars in the beginning, only 13 of them are going to finish, so that's 8 DNFs. Right now, last place is Fran Rodriguez for the Rotodos squad. Grimminger is in 12th, as Teglas is in 11th. It's been a very chaotic race, but it's coming to an end. Zverka is now getting close to the downhill sections of the quick S's. As he now does this little left-hander. He's getting close to his win. Another win in the season. Second win of the season only. He won the first race as far, and that's his only win of the season. And he's going to.
And this one is a pretty special one, as we mentioned before, the 100 race, and yeah, one one with the highest prestige, the highest one with the prestige race. So yeah, I think this one, when you win this one, it's pretty special as well. So it will be a pretty special win for Zverka.
Yeah, and also not only that, but Gilhood might only get 4 points because of 14th place. So getting 4 points against 50, that will give him an extra 46 points in the championship lead, which will be very comfortable for him when we go back racing in normal conditions. Next round, of course, quickly checking, next round is the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg in June the 27th, so 3 weeks from now. And in 3 weeks we will see how the championship continues with normal points, with normal 2 races per weekend, a normal 20 minutes duration of each race.
And of course, yeah, for me the most surprising driver at this race is Peter Jones on second. He made a very good job, as I mentioned it some times before. He made a very good decision with the undercut strategy to try to overtake them with his pit stop and trying to get some clean air, and worked out for him, so he can call himself a pretty good second place driver here.
Right now, downhill goes Mark Zverka. He's about to take the victory. Final few corners for the German in the orange Repsol Twin Eagle car. Does brake onto the line over the curve. And final corner for the German. 57 minutes of race. That's more than 2 races we usually have on a weekend of TCC. Turning on and off the lights. Mark Zverka wins the race in the Nordschleife, wins the 150 race, and takes 50 points home at least for now. We'll have to check penalties, but he's had a pretty clean race anyways.
Yeah,
Peter
I
Jones
think
will take second. If nothing goes wrong, he's on the straight right now. And continue.
Yeah, and Volland will get the third position, I guess, because the gap to Lopez is... Oh! Yeah, Lopez is pretty slow at the moment. He's lost 6 seconds to Volland, so I guess there's problems here. But Volland also made a good job here. Fighting for the third position. Yeah, and Jones now on the start-finish straight will cross the line in a few seconds and will call himself a good second place. I think 1-2 for Webster's winning the racing is pretty nice. Didn't expect this, to be honest.
Very good result for the team.
Yeah.
Now Voland will cross the line to third. Pablo Lopez is going to cross the line for fourth. Season's best result for him. Now then Quirinos in fifth. After that mistake in this very corner, he's going to take fifth. Yeah, very sad result for him. He was looking very good for the podium, or at least to fight with them for it. He couldn't make it though. He's in fifth. Carlos Frau is in sixth. Redemption after a terrible race in the 6 hours. Seventh will cross the line. Richard Warner is making now this little S's before the final corner. Over the line again, Coys, and also over the curve. And it's going to be Davidas Larinavicius, Jonatas Verto, who is not even on the straight just yet. And then it's Saulius Larinavicius, very close to Jonatas Verto. Laszlo Teglas, Konstantin Grimminger, and Fran Rodriguez, who is 2 minutes behind Grimminger and some 5 minutes behind Sverker.
Yeah.
So Fran Rodriguez is going to take a long time to finish.
Grimminger pretty frustrating race for him. He had the pace, of course, after the first few laps, and then the problem in the night with the crash made the problems, and he lost a lot of time. Also with the punctures were so not the ideal day for him. So the two Repsol Swinigal drivers are in formation right now, as they both go kind of side by side. Of course, as we said, Mark Sverker had a 9-point championship lead. That will increase up to 55 points of the lead, so that means he could not finish any of the races in Austria. Sven could win both, and he would still lead the championship by 5 points. This is how Mark usually wins them. This is how he starts his championship charge. A very disappointing start for the season for the German, not winning until round number 5, race 1. But he's now kicked off his season with a bang. Yeah. So Berger now, having a good race and now leading the championship again. So Gerrit was probably the fastest man here in qualifying, also in the first part of the race. But consistency is key, and we know that Sverker is an experienced driver. He drove the 6 hours 2 weeks ago with the exactly same car, so he knows how to drive here on the circuit, on this track. So he made everything done right. So congrats to him. Nothing more to say.
Waiting for Grimminger and Rodriguez to cross the line just to finish off the stream in a moment. And it's been a very interesting round. Over the grass goes Grimminger. He's very close to the wall though. And he has lost the front of his car. Or maybe he didn't recover it though. But he's now going to go through the last corner, and we'll only have to wait for Rodriguez to... Well, he's very far off, gotta say that. It's a load of time off the start-finish straight. So there goes Rodriguez a little bit wide. But it's been a very interesting race throughout the pack, throughout the middle part, fighting for the podium, fighting for high points places, high stokes. So we have Mark Sverker in the interview room. So we're going to put Mark in.
Insufficient permissions.
Okay, one moment. And we'll have Mark's work in a moment. So I guess he's going to...
User joined your channel.
Hello, hello, Mark. Congratulations on the win. And very dominant display, although it's been helped out by Sven's mistake a little bit, gotta say. But congrats on the win anyways. And how do you feel in the car? Of course, you had a big amount of practice on the 6 hours, and this has paid off.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you very much. Yeah, it was mainly it was a lot of luck today. First, the server crash so we had to restart because my first race was pretty much destroyed right from the beginning, as I had to come back with a flat tire. The second race start went pretty similar. I quickly moved up the order to second place, gained a lot of time in the night to catch up to Sven. I guess I was like 7.5 seconds down, and when he dropped off the circuit, it was like 1 second only. So I would have definitely loved to fight him today, but sometimes it just has to happen, you know.
It's been a very interesting race, and yeah, it's been a little bit lucky. What happened at that first race? It looked like, well, Stan hit you in the back, right?
Yeah, I guess he just misjudged his braking point there. We've already discussed that, everything's fine so far.
And also, gotta say, if Sven does get classified and gets his 4 points, after 14th place...
He doesn't have the 50%.
Well, then he doesn't, so you will have a 59-point lead. How do you feel about that? Your championship has now kicked off.
Yeah, well, in the end it was very lucky. Maybe I could have won it anyway if Sven didn't crash or something. Maybe I would have won it anyways, but then he would have still ended up in second, and now he's DNF'd, so that gives me a lot of space in the Drivers' Championship, but nonetheless, there will be no time at all to breathe, because I know that Sven is actually the faster driver, and it's still a long way to go. There are still 10 races to go, and guess it won't be too easy.
20 races, gotta correct you.
Yeah.
Because of the double, it's 2 races, 10 rounds, you meant. Martin, you had a question?
Do you think, Mark, you had some profit with your experience here in the Nordschleife? I mean, you drove the car 2 weeks ago, only 6 hours, of course, of the Nordschleife too. So do you think the practice or the driving under day and night with this car in 6 hours brought you the win today, or the fast night session?
Well, it looked like it gave me plenty of advantage, at least against Sven, as I was gaining much time during the night. But I guess I was pretty well practiced in the beginning, first of all. Also due to the 6-hour race I did 2 weeks ago. But then again, we used another physics during the 6-hour event, which was the 2018 TCC physics. And now we're using the 2019 ones, I guess, if I'm correct. I mean, it worked out in the end. Let's see how the next races are going to happen.
Well, thank you very much. Congratulations, and on the championship lead as well. So I guess your championship charge is now going to be trying to get the most consistent results possible, of course. Again, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, I was a little bit distracted. I was just answering Dovidas, who just wrote me something.
yes, if you have anything to answer to that about the championship charge and being consistent.
Yeah, well, it's always about the consistency, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, but I think
first of all, it's just first of all, it's even participating in any event.
Yeah, but do you think the consistency here is the key to win? Because I think it's more difficult here on the track, in the Nordschleife to win, because you really need to have a clean lap. And I think we see how fast it can go. I think you saw the crash of Stan behind. He was in third when crashed. Also had a good pace. So, do you think the consistency here on this track is more important than on other tracks?
Yeah, well, I guess it's not the most about consistency on this track. It's about consistency on every track basically, but you get your consistency on this track, and you get your quickness, your speed on this track, by just basically just by being brave enough to trust your own car, your own handling, and trust yourself to keep your car on the track as well. If you're afraid of making mistakes, you will definitely make mistakes here.
Yeah. So good last words from the winner here. So we say thank you very much for the interview. Enjoy your time. After this win, I hope there will be a little party maybe.
Corona doesn't make it.
Oh yeah. Okay. So just party by yourself. It should be fine as well too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Goodbye.
Have a nice weekend. Bye.
And with these, we're going to finish off the stream. I know there's people in the interview room waiting, but I need to stop. As I said in the last week's JTC, I'm pretty allergic and I'm already struggling. So I've got to stop. Thank you very much for joining me, Martin. And I've had
Thank you very much
fun.
too. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to commentate this very special event, 100 TCC race. So yeah, maybe you will see me in the near future again. But yeah, for tomorrow I will be back in the cockpit.
Yes, I will.
In the Indy. Yeah, so it will be exciting enough tomorrow as well.
We'll be racing each other tomorrow. You will have Konstantin Grimminger commentating for you tomorrow the Indy 250 in the Open Wheel Championship Series. But from us here from the Nordschleife, it's all. And we've got to go. So thank you all very much for watching and see you very soon.
See you, goodbye.